So, what's been on your mind?
Oh, just the future.
Future?
Yeah.
What is it about the future that concerns you or, excites you? Talk about both.
Oh, future excitement or fears?
Mhm.
Let's see. Well, we can start talking about like good stuff and like
Mhm.
just seeing like where I could go.
Yeah.
Because I'm a big thinker.
Mhm.
So when I'm working, I'm just thinking about other things than actual work. Because I'm just physically working.
Yeah.
But really, I've been thinking like I could go be an electrician and be like, it can be hard, but my mind, I think if I put my mind to it as well, then it'd be super easy for me.
Mhm.
And I get things pretty well, pretty fast.
Mhm.
And I just, like, whenever I have someone helping me and teaching me the job is so easy for me because I always ask them twice just to make sure I get it right.
So you like being a hands-on person?
Yeah.
And learning visually and hands-on is a lot better. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I always ask good questions whenever I have a problem or anything. Right now, I've always been asking either who's teaching me right now or other people because they also want to help me. Just because we make hydraulic hoses and that helps out like military and cleaning machines like the ones like you see at school, and then buses and fire trucks. So it's like interesting at first, and you're like, how do you do this?
So usually when it comes down to electrical, it's not just about
electrical is like you have to be creative, and you have to make everything right because you can't have the wires overlapped with each other or interact with each other or anything like that.
So it's more than just learning about electricity itself. It's about making sure that the wires match up.
Yeah, like as soon as you get like the job for apprenticeship, it's like you have to learn with the real world stuff because in school you only learn about like stationary things.
Yeah.
And you don't know like everything else. So that is hard, and they also have rules and things you need to learn. Because I mean, I went in there for like the first fall semester 1 year, and then I dropped out because I got scared because I didn't know if I really want to do it or not.
And then does that come into like like where fear is? You're concerned about your future. Is there anything else?
Just because like when I did that, I didn't know what I want to do. I was like, do I really want to do this? Can I do this?
Yeah.
Like my whole life? I don't know. So then I was like, well,
is it too bright?
Oh no, I'm fine.
Okay. Yeah.
I usually just like looking up and like think about the past and like, well, let's see, because I don't know what I want to do yet.
Yeah.
And that was like super hard for me because my mom's like, oh, what do you want to do? You can be a plumber, you can be this and that. And I'm like, I don't know which one I want to do. And I knew it disappointed them because they're like, you're supposed to know what you're supposed to do. Once you're like in like a junior year or senior year in high school. That's what people think, but it's so hard to know what you want to do. Really.
And because time always changes later. Things change, and usually a lot of people would think that by the time junior year or senior year hits, like like they come up with what they want to major in, but life happens. Things change. So it doesn't happen. People, and if anything too, a lot of people they change so many majors during their time in college. So if it's not what you want to do, then it's okay because it's a norm. That happens a lot to everybody that goes to college.
Yeah, I mean, I went to trade school and You know, that was easy because basically just like high school.
Uh-huh.
You just go in, could just pay attention. You don't even need to study.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so there's some tests online, but
Yeah.
study a little bit for those. That was pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Then, let's see. First semester, they're fine of like actual college or trading school. Then, my second semester, my car was just so bad for the snow because my windshield wipers didn't work. And then my windshield fluid would also freeze up.
Yeah.
So I couldn't even wipe it at all.
And did that just happen recently too, or is that
No, that was like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Wow. Yeah.
That was like when I was about to turn 19.
So now you're 21.
Well, pretty close to 21, you know.
I turned 21 soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, lucky them. They want to take me out and go drink and everything.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, if I have time. But it's gonna be on. I already looked at it. I was like, it's gonna be on a Friday night. And I'm like, oh shit. But I'm like, it's okay. They'll take care of me.
So overall, would you say that your parents make you more concerned about your future? Because it sounds like you don't want to upset them and disappoint them too, right?
Well, yeah, of course. I'm their first son, and it's kind of how Hmong culture is. So
yeah, and they want you to be the example for Isaac.
Just be an example for everybody. Just be like, oh, you can be successful and everything. So you know.
Let's see here.
But you know, once they get older and once they turn like of age of knowing what they want to do, what not to do. And I can tell them like you can just go experience more stuff. You don't need to do what you think is right for mom and dad, because making money is one thing, but your happiness in the future is another.
Yeah, it sure is, because you definitely want to have a job that pays you well, but you want it to be a job that can keep you mentally sane and happy. So, right now, what would you say your relationship is between your parents right now? Like your relationship with your parents?
Percentage-wise, I'd say like maybe 40% or more 50%, because we talk to each other and everything, and they ask me about my job and how my day was, and it's like, yeah, it's okay, but I don't tell like everything how I feel like in my private life. So that's different.
So, is it hard for you to open up?
Yeah, I've always been alone. So like, when we got the new house and everything, I live like upstairs, then I'll be in a colder room, so I went downstairs in the basement. It's not finished and anything, but you know, it's a room for me. You know, like, that's fine. I don't really care. It's cold room down there. I like the cold because I have a huge weight, and it's like, you have to keep that cold, or else you're gonna feel uncomfortable all the time. But
is it just hard for you to open up to your parents, or like other people overall?
I think it's just my parents, because they're so close to me.
Yeah.
Because they do say it is hard to get closer to the ones that you love, because if you're so closed off already. So I mean, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. You don't want. It sounds like you don't want them sad, disappointed. No. You don't want them hurt.
Never.
By what you're going through at that moment. So, have you thought about opening up to them yet?
Nope.
No, not at all.
No, not a one bit. I'm like, if I open up to them, it's like, I think it'd be too hard for them, because their generation is different. They don't know like what I've been through.
Mm. Yeah, it's usually always like a clash of generations because well, what they went through, we never went through it, but we could always acknowledge what they went through, you know. And is it? Would you say out of the two, maybe it's easier to open up to your mom?
My mom. I mean, kind of.
Kind of.
It's not.
But then
it's not that easy.
It's not that easy to.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Because like my siblings, it's not even that easy to open up to them.
So even Mindy doesn't know what you're going through.
I mean, she thinks she knows, but she's just having me to go forward on the path of being an adult. Instead of like my past, how bad it was.
Would you agree that if you had if Mindy didn't get married and you would still have an older sibling to to look up to and ask for advice and open up to when you're going through these situations in life?
I don't know. It's hard to tell because it's like what happened in the past stays in the past, and so like I've grown up to be like whatever's happens, so you can't really change it. So you can't have any regrets or anything.
Yeah. And I'm aware that your dad and Mindy are not on good terms right now. Are you worried that might happen to you too if you don't, work on your future?
Well, right now I'm trying to change since I've been through therapy and everything. So it's like my dad. Sometimes you don't have a lot of things to talk about. Yeah, one thing to talk about that's like fishing.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, I always loved fishing. I wanted to go with my dad and Uncle Saab. But they'd be like on a boat in a river, and that's too dangerous for me.
So you were scared?
No, I wasn't scared. I wanted to go, but they didn't
want you to go.
Yeah, because they don't want to be like, oh, we gotta look out for somebody or somebody like falling or something. And that's really dangerous. I mean, since I grew up, I knew how that was. So.
You talked about change. Tell me more. What do you want to change?
I mean, I've been talking to more of my cousins and open up to them a little more. Than like staying so closed off and just.
Is this both Cody and Andrew?
I haven't really talked to Cody because I forgot his number. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
And sometimes he's not answering his phone, but like I already know like what he's kind of up to. He's either hanging out with his friends or playing video games. Yeah. Or working, but he's not working anymore, so that's a different story. So, I mean, once we got together, his siblings, and we got together last week, so asking them how he's doing, like what he's doing right now. Same thing with Andrew.
Yeah. What do you think it would take for you to open up to your parents? Or what if your parents were the ones that opened up to you? Do you think that'll help you open up to them too?
Really, I don't want them to get hurt about what happened in my past. Because I just leave it back there.
Yeah.
Because, like, ever since I really had trauma about it, I've just been trying to just sleep it off and just forget about it. Because I don't want to make it hold me back every day.
Yeah.
So, usually when I'm thinking about anything, I might think about the past. If something bad happens to me or I'd be upset or anything, that'll make me more upset because I hold all those grudges and I never open up about it. But when I'm just doing like everyday things, it's like I never think about it. And then because since I'm working and thinking about things, I always think about the past and just like reminisce like memories I've had and how much fun they were.
Mm-hmm. So, we haven't talked exactly about what happened in the past. Do you mind opening up about it?
Oh, in the past, let's see. So Minnie got me a phone when I was 14, 15, for my birthday, I think. And then I've always been playing online games, and I had friends on there, and then we went out to a social media app. And then I guess I fell in love, but not really. It wasn't a real thing. It's just online stuff.
Yeah.
And then usually the online dating just went forever until like my junior year, the end of junior year. Then it just stopped.
Oh, so it was like you got left on scene.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty much left everybody. So I was like, I don't want to deal with that anymore because it's painful to look at. And once you like feel it, and you have that feeling for a long time, it hurts me. But right now, it's been like 2 years, or it's been 3 years now ever since I ever like online dated or anything. So it's like it's not on my mind anymore.
Well, I do see that you're trying your best, being strong. So would you say you're as strong as you are right now?
Right now? I mean, I'm an adult now, so I try and hold back everything.
Now, how do you cope with that when you hold it back? What do you do?
I mean,
to cope with it.
To cope with it, I either go have fun with my friends or go online, talk shit to people.
Okay.
So that keeps it off my mind, and then I guess watching anything funny, I guess, on YouTube.
Yeah.
That keeps me off my mind, then just fall asleep then. Because that's just the routine.
Yeah.
Because you don't have bad feelings the whole time. I mean, that's what I learned when I was online dating. Because no one wants to see you sad and be like,
keep talking.
I'm going to be sad. Because that is, that I learned then and there that I should be like more aware of myself and how I am towards people, just to make sure they're not upset or disturbed or uncomfortable with me.
So it's like you're also working on boundaries too.
Yeah. Yeah, I always have been. It's like, because when I talked to my therapist, she's like, you care about like your family and everything, and I don't think I really told her, like, I just kind of care about everybody else.
Yeah, it's tough, because when you have a big support system, and everyone looks out for you, they care for you. Last thing you want to do is hurt them, It's alright, bro. I'm good, man. Yeah. If you gotta let it out, man. Yeah. It's I know it's tough. So, sometimes do you feel like if you're going to have a breakdown, you have to it all it takes is a simple question from your parents, and then sometimes, and you hold it in, and then you go to your room, and you finally let it out. Do you have those moments too?
It's not about like them asking questions. Really, it's more them lecturing me.
Oh.
And they're like, when I was younger, I want to play games for a living. Because that was all my passion. I was just like playing games every day. you know, want to take me to like a tournament or anything. That means I have to go look it up and see if like they can take me, but we're still farming at the time, so we couldn't, and so that just caused a big problem for me. And now they got me upset because they're like, oh yeah, we'll support you and you go play games and stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing that. You told me not to do that.
So an ultimatum was given to you.
Yeah, and then now I'm just like, I don't want to play games again. I just want to like.
Because every time you play games, that's what comes to mind.
It's not what comes to mind. It just gets boring sometimes. So it's like, going home from work, like, do I want to play games right now? Not really. My Wi-Fi shit. I'm gonna play on a hotspot.
Yeah.
So, honestly, I just like, I'm just gonna lay in bed, wake up, work, and do the same thing over again. Unless like family things come up, then go to that.
Yeah.
Help family out and everything.
Is it different when you're alone and no one's around you, like your parents and your siblings aren't around you in the house? Do you feel a different atmosphere?
When they're not around in the house, I mean, I feel more freedom, but then I'm just doing the same thing, so it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah.
So I mean, when I'm not around my family, when we're on a get together, or when I'm not like with them, I'm with like my cousin and everything, we're having fun. It's different because I just want to have fun and everything.
Yeah.
Then I just become more brave and everything because you know when we went to Valley Fair when I was younger, I just got scared of riding rides.
Yeah. Everybody was, because you know.
Yeah, I mean it was scary. I was like, then I grew older and I was like, maybe 15. I was like, oh, let's ride everything. I don't care. I'm just gonna go have fun.
So yeah, I think if you could look at it as every challenge in life as like a roller coaster. I think you can overcome it.
Well, yeah.
Is that how you're looking at it right now?
You mean you can overcome anything? Nothing's not impossible unless you have a dream that's way too big that is kind of unreachable, like becoming like. I mean, if you have the idea and creativity to make something happen that's really big, and being an entrepreneur, you know, that's a big thing, and you have to be business smart too, and that's also different. You know, there's a lot of different factors to having like that big of a dream, because you have to have like the passion for it. But not everything is for everybody, so everything's always different.
You talked about wanting to become an electrician. Is there anything else that you have in mind that you feel would definitely be possible for you?
You know, I don't know. I don't like to study. Being an electrician is like a dream right now. Because like you work, once you get done with apprenticeship, I can also go be a journeyman and travel too. So they make a lot of money being a journeyman, and that takes like 5 years after your apprenticeship, pretty sure. Because I talked to that with my coworker, because he has friends who are journeymen, and they make like $50 an hour, and they work 30 hours a week.
Oh, wow.
You'd be like, really? You're like, yeah. I was like, oh. You know, that sounds amazing. You have so much time in your hands, and you're making a lot of money. But the idea of being an electrician was knowing that I can go on my own time, and it's just simple work. Because once you know how to do everything, it's so simple and it's easy. Because you like veteran electricians they look at a problem, easy fix.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's nothing for an electrician that cannot be done.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have so many tools and you can be so creative with it.
Mm-hmm. So, do you know what your values are yet?
My values?
Yeah. What do you value most?
Right now, I just value my family.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, I've been trying to value more of self-loving, because that was also hard for me, because online, because I always thought it was my fault. I was like, oh, it's not my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But self-loving is the most important thing, I think, for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But to some people, don't just have too much an ego and a pride.
Yeah.
And keep an open mind. And that's what I've been doing. And it's been working right now, so not too big of a deal for me.
Yeah.
Life has been selling pretty easily. I got money coming in, and just did taxes and everything. That money's coming in through, and I said, okay,
that's good. Huh? Wow. Yeah. So, do you think if you could use those do you think you could use your values to help you in the situations that you're going through right now?
They're helping right now. So right now, an easy mind. Just talking about the past, it's heartbreaking, but I just know that I gotta move forward.
Yeah.
So I gotta stop thinking about it all the time. But once in a while, it's nice to talk about it and then release the emotions. And just have room to breathe. And just keep everything inside. But
that's good.
Right now, values right now just stacking up. Got family and everything. Support me and everything. So, making more friends too. So, that's hard because when I was in school, I never hung out with anybody. I was like, really, I was never taught that, like, oh, I can go over to my friend's house, like, or anything like that.
It was always like you came straight home from school and
I came straight home from school,
did homework,
did some of my homework, and then just play video games and have fun with my friends online instead. But I think that was the hardest thing, is like knowing like, oh, I could go over to somebody's place, and also have fun instead of just being at home and play online. I mean, the only time I ever really got outside and actually wanted to go and hang out was with my cousins only, and that's it.
And those are the people that you trust.
I mean, sometimes my parents don't trust them and everything because, they're old school Hmong culture. And we had competition and farming and everything, so, everyone has their own secrets, and they're like, I can't really trust them. But, all aunts and uncles, they look after every one of us kids because, we're their future and everything.
Yeah.
And also, they don't want to look bad in front of, like, our parents. But everyone's ideals is very different in Hmong culture. They fight sometimes, and they might hold grudges. But it's different. I don't know what to think. I never really was a part of that drama. You hear about it. You know what's happening. You already know that, some of your parents will talk about, so and so, your uncle or aunt's not that smart or whatever. They're doing something dumb or whatever.
Do you ever believe that the way they think is possibly wrong?
Honestly, since I always keep an open mind, I'm just like, I need to know everything before I think of like a certain thing.
So it sounds like just because your parents think about it a certain way, you don't believe them just yet until it finally happens to you too, right?
I mean, it's a possibility because there's so many possibilities of what something happening. Because they talk about my uncle and he's gotten divorced 3 times. So it's always hard on him. He's the youngest.
Yeah.
Just like you. But also, my dad told me, when they're all still in like Apple Valley and everything, my uncle wanted to go like play football and everything, and he liked this white girl, but my grandma didn't like her, and like keep moon jeans in the family only.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense. But he could have gone further.
Yeah.
It's just a possibility, but one culture is still old school.
And you think that, do you believe that the old-fashioned tradition in Hmong culture is what holds back their own success? They're a victim of their own success, or their own their own tradition culture.
Yeah, sometimes. Because like, my mom and dad always tell me like, they're not Hmong, so they'll understand you as well, and they will understand us. But it's like, I mean, you see like Koreans or Chinese or African Americans, they marry
interracial marriage.
So it's like we're not even there yet, but it's like, I have the pride of just like, I need to have, one culture is a little bit different, so because you want someone to get you everything, and like my cousin Daniel, he went to go marry someone from in Laos, so that's different from being in America.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it's working out now. I mean, they just got back together after she filed divorce, or she filed for child abuse or whatnot.
It's seems like a really tough situation for him. I can't even imagine. So, do you ever, because your parents, they have their own views, do you ever offer them an alternative?
If I haven't really thought about it, because I forget about it sometimes.
Are you worried that because and sometimes you probably forget about it. It could be due to the fact that you're concerned that if you give them an alternative, then they're just gonna start lecturing you.
Well, I already know they're gonna lecture me anyways. Once you talk to them, they're gonna ask them like, oh, if I could do this, or what happens if I do this, or whatnot, or I want you to have a look at this, see if it's correct or not. And they're just gonna lecture me like, oh, this and that, and that and this. It's like,
what about like addressing their wrong behaviors or like when you know that they're wrong, do you feel the need to address it, or are you concerned that if you address it, there will be certain consequences towards you?
Consequences towards me really doesn't matter. I mean, I think it's just me worrying that if I hurt them, they won't like it. But most of the time, whenever they lecture me and they start talking about like hard things that I don't really want to talk about, it's like, I just want to go away. I don't want to really talk about it.
You bite your tongue. You have to bite it hard, huh?
No, it's more like
you just
I'm
don't.
like, oh, I'm done talking, and then I'll just go.
Is it one of those things where you're already like, you're like, I'm already feeling this way, so why do you got to make me feel worse? Is that what's going through your mind when they talk to you about certain things?
Yeah, I think so. But I think everything, since I'm still young, everything is still a growing process, and
yeah,
I mean they're older than me, so they know more. So
I would say that with age, age isn't included with like knowledge, because anybody can learn. Anybody can learn.
It's more because I was so closed off, and I didn't really learn about anything because I don't like studying. So they know more. They know like more of the realistic things of what an adult should do and be doing all the time.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to say is, I think as far as like development goes, besides the fact that you're younger than them, I think you can gain a sense of knowledge that they weren't able to have, and I think whatever that knowledge possibly may be, that's something that may benefit your future, and they might have disagreements about, but if you know that it works for you, then I think it's like, doesn't everybody learns, and everybody overcomes things differently. So like, yeah, it's you get where I'm trying to go here.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the words for it, because like it's age doesn't really discriminate any sort of learning. I mean, of course, you are right when you talk about how they're older and they know more, and then right now you're still in that mindset of you're still developing. For them, I'm sure your parents, they started life a little earlier compared to you, whereas right now you're growing up as every American is growing up. They marry later in life rather than early in life to adapt to adulthood. So I think right now adulthood is still approaching you, and I think because your parents never went through that phase where they grew into adulthood and they got married. When they got married, that's when adulthood came in.
Yeah.
So it's not about who's right and who's wrong, but it's about looking at the alternatives. Like, hey, if you were in my shoes, you'd understand. However, if I was in your shoes, I'd also understand as well. But we got to look at it this way, where it's not like, oh, I didn't grow up like you, so I don't care, or we didn't grow up the way you're growing, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
I think if you have that kind of behavior, it's just rebellious, and your mind's closed off too much, and it doesn't make you become more successful.
And I could tell that you're really considerate too, because even though I feel like they might say something that may be harsh and offensive towards you, you feel the need not to do that because you don't want to make it any worse than it should be. And from the looks of it, it looks like you beat yourself up about certain things, and you don't want to add more to it. Correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I used to beat myself up a lot, but because in high school I was cutting, and no one really knew about it for like, I think, almost a year at school.
Wow. You isolated yourself.
Yeah. My friend asked about like, oh, what's on your arms? I'm like, I didn't say anything. I just like covered up and just didn't say anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, since you go older, you start realizing things, and you should start like really thinking about like your future when you get older, but not in high school, because like in high school you just want to have fun, but there's some people that are the types to think about their future early, and so everyone
that was
always different.
That was you, right?
Well, thinking about my future when I was younger. Oh, not really. I was like, oh, let's play games.
You were coming up like that was you. That was your future.
Yeah, I really wanted to. Like when I was in college, the second semester, I didn't go to school at all, so I failed it.
So do you think you could do something like that off on the side while going to school too, like multitask and do two things at once? Do you think that's possible?
I wasn't thinking that at all.
You weren't thinking about doing that?
No, I was thinking about
Is that something you're thinking about doing right now? Or instead, because you're not in school, what about working and doing that at the same time?
I think that's just too hard for me, because
first multitasking is hard.
My parents don't have good fucking Wi-Fi.
I was gonna say Twitch is a big thing now. You could probably do Twitch.
I know if I could. I know I could if I wanted to, but I already know that our Wi-Fi is shit.
So that's why you're not doing it.
Because I'm like, my parents tell me like, oh, you can live stream and everything. I'm like, I can't live stream. Our Wi-Fi's shit. What do you want me to do? Then I can't play the game as well as other people. I mean, yeah, I have personality and everything.
Yeah.
Because like, when I'm not with my parents. You speak more informal than you do formally, because formally you always think about what you should talk about. Informally, you just say whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, sounds like you got those boundaries with your parents too. You already know for sure that there are certain things you don't want to talk about with your parents, and then there are the things that you do want to talk about with your parents, but then it results in lectures. Correct.
I mean that's why I talk. That's why I talk to you. And then Mindy will get it, but sometimes she'll be like,
it's almost like she brushes it off. She doesn't.
Well, she doesn't get it. Because she's like, yeah, sure, she went to college and she failed college, and that's why she's in the military. And she married without telling any of us. I mean, I saw on Instagram. I was like, wait. You got a ring?
Yeah.
And then I didn't say anything. I was like, okay, whatever. It's your life.
So would you say that if she wasn't married and she didn't go to the Marines and she still stayed, would she be more understanding of where your situation is at?
I think it's hard. I think it's hard for any girl to see a guy's point in a monoculture situation.
Would you say it's also hard because she's hard for her to say too, because she's the oldest and she already has a lot of pressure on her?
She's 6 years older than me, so I mean, everything online that I did was just different. Because I got hooked onto games. Yeah. And she didn't. She didn't really get hooked onto games. She's like, oh, I want to go have fun, go party and everything. Like, I'm not like that. I don't want to go party. Yeah. First drink I had, I was like, I don't like it that much. I don't know what's so fun about it. And then I realized, like, last week I was like, I think I know why people like it. Because you open up more. Yeah. And you have that buzz and you're like, oh yeah, let's we do whatever we want. But
so overall, let's talk about opening up again. Do you think one of these days, or if not one of these days, sometime in the future, you will be able to open up to your parents and tell them what's going on?
I mean, I think by the future, I won't really think about my past as much.
Okay, that's good.
Because I'll be moving forward, and in the future, maybe I have a wife, maybe have kids or something.
Then maybe.
So that I wouldn't even think about it at all.
Mm-hmm.
I take it as experience and tell my kids.
Yeah.
Once they get older enough.
So you'd rather open up to your kids than open up to your parents?
I mean, I think opening up to my parents right now make it hard on them, but at the same time, it's like, what's the point of me opening up to them?
When you
about like the worst past stuff, because it's not gonna do any good to do anything about it. Sure, they'll know about it, but they'll be like, I don't know if they understand it as well. But
you feel like they might degrade you if you bring it up. Like, why would you think about this? Why would you even? Why is this even a problem?
Yeah.
And then if that happens in the back of your head, you're just thinking, see, you don't get it. You don't understand. And the reason why you don't understand is because you've never been through this situation.
Yeah, because, like, you know, when I was a kid, I was like, I kind of felt more lonely than I did. But when I'm with family, it's different. But when I'm just in my room and just playing games, I just realized how alone I was. When I was but when I was like in elementary, I could go have fun with my friends outside.
Yeah.
But I never could go to their houses because my mom didn't trust them or my dad didn't trust them.
So do you think if your parents could be more open and trusting, maybe, just maybe, that'll finally get you to open up to them before you finally start opening up to your future kids?
I don't know yet. Because it's just kind of hard.
Yeah.
Just talking to them talking to your parents is always hard, especially talking about like hard stuff that you've been through in the past, and it's like, you know, you start getting over it, and you're like, do I really need to talk about this anymore?
Yeah.
Not really. Because I don't want to bring it back, and it's like,
yeah.
Well, this is what happened to me in the past, and you guys weren't there.
Yeah.
But that's because it's my fault, because I didn't tell them.
So you feel guilty about that part too. Like, man, if I was going through, why didn't I even tell them? Why did I hide it from them? And if you feel that you bring it up now, that it would lead to nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, what I could say is, it sounds like you're being more open now. Not towards your parents, but you know, you find a way to cope with things now. It seems like you know where your support system is. You know, like your like other family members besides just your mom and your dad. So, I would encourage that you take advantage of that. Do whatever it is that could keep you happy, and if you know there are certain folks that could keep you positive, surround yourself with those people. And do that. Because I know, I'm sure Andrew and Cody, they're just waiting on you. And like you said, Cody's not working right now too, but I think maybe he's just, you know, maybe he's going through similar to what you're going through. And I think if you guys could connect, I think you guys will. I think it'll be good for both of you.
I think his story's a little different because me and Andrew, we didn't really have known friends, so that's different.
Okay.
But I'm always open-minded, so whenever he leaves us for his mom friends, I'm like, oh, it's okay, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, just let him go have his share of time with his friends.
Well, if that's the case
he
with
can
Cody,
be with us like any time. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, if that's the case with Cody, then stick with Andrew.
Well, yeah, because we went to New Year's and he went to go with his mom friends. You know, Andrew got kind of mad about it. I was like, dude, relax. We got each other. You're fine.
Yeah.
You don't need to worry about that and everything.
Well, you know, at least you guys are both even.
I mean, like sometimes
you guys weren't an odd number anymore.
Well, I mean, being an odd number is like kind of different.
It is, because one of the others ends up being empty-handed. The other two got each other.
Because like you talk about my family, it's like you got Mindy, me, Natalie, Isaac, and then Kristen.
Yeah.
The only one that doesn't really go with them or be with them most of the time is me.
Mm-hmm.
So they have each other all the time. That whenever they argue with me, no one really has my back. So I was like, whatever.
Yeah. Well,
I have my mom back me up and stuff. So
that's good. Yeah, man. Stick with what keeps your head up high. You know where I'm at. You're welcome to stop by anytime. Just hit me up.
yeah. Well, I'm just like trying to work hard.